Hi guys. Previously we saw the output values from the cloud formation to create to refer back to the dependent stack from the independent stack, right? Similar concept. There is one more thing called nested stack. Okay. So the primary difference is the output values works within a single region and within an account. But in reality, what's going to happen is I'll show you yes diagram where in any organization you'll have multi AWS accounts span across regions, and they want to have this security team create the stacks for security, network team create the stack for networking, and the rest of the accounts across the region should follow it through. They should be able to adhere to the standard, right? Just by output values, you could not do that. That is where the nested tag comes into picture. Okay. So one of the things are like while you try to update a nested stack, you have to update the root stack. Okay. And while you want to delete a nested stack, you have to delete the root stack. You cannot go and delete the dependent stack. Okay. And so let's jump into an example to make it more clear. Similar example. So you have one YAML file which is created by the security group with an ingress of particular CIDR IP for the port 22 opened, right? And they are exposing the outputs here through the ref things, right? Now, the interesting thing is when you create the independent stack, you will be using something called type AWS : CloudFormation : stack. So far, we have seen EC2 : stack or security group : like that, right? But we never saw a CloudFormation referring to another CloudFormation. This is what the nested stack is. And you will be referring a temporary URL through a S3 bucket. So you have to put this dependent YAML to a S3 bucket and copy that here. Then when you try to create the EC2 instance, for example, right? Here, when you refer to the security group IDs, you will be saying get attribute security group stack, which is what we defined here, which refer to the S3 bucket, which refer to this file, which refer to the output, right? Output.ssh group ID. So this is how the link happens. Okay. So let's go to the demo. So demo wise, first I want to show you guys the S3 bucket. So you need to have your S3 bucket. So I have Azure Rules CloudFormation bucket, right? So I will be referring, so I'm going to put this file. So basically to put the file is, so I'll be referring to this thing. Okay, so I'm going to upload. So this file has been uploaded, and this file is having one of the security ingress rule. Okay. So now going back to the CloudFormation, I have to create a new stack. So I will be saying upload the template file EC2 instance, right? But this file is referring to the nested stack in the S3 thing. So here we have to choose the VPC. So I'm going to say the default one. Say next. So nested EC2 stack. So I'm going to keep it the default. But one thing is here, since it's a referring CloudFormation stack, we have to acknowledge. You might have the create IAM resources, common names, acknowledge to CloudFormation request, following capability to auto extend. Yes, you just go with that. So it is saying create in progress. Okay. So it's going to take a minute, and meanwhile, let me just show you guys a little bit on this particular thing, right? So this is the independent stack where we are trying to create the EC2 instance where we have mappings defined for a particular region, right? So, and also the dependent stack is defined. And when you say dependent stack, it needs to have two things. One is the stack name and another is the VPC ID. So when I say ref AWS : stack name, it is an intrinsic way of referring to the stack name, whatever we gave just now, right? So it is getting it. VPC ID, we just chose the default. We are passing it here. So when you go to this, it has two parameters. One is the application name, another is VPC ID, and you have to pass those two values from the independent stack. And how long you have to wait? 60. You could change anything you want here. And when it comes to the EC2 instance, instance type is hardcoded T2, but image ID is very interesting. So we are saying find in map, and we are saying AWS region OC2 AMI, referencing to the region HVM64, right? So it goes back here, and east one HVM64 get this AMI ID. If you change to some other region, intrinsic way it knows which AMI to get it, right? You don't have to hard code. So this is very powerful. And availability zone also we are trying to get from the intrinsic way, right? And the security group is we are referring through the get attribute to the nested stack to the S3 bucket. Okay, so this one example where I tried to show you guys nested way, where the nested things internally is putting the outputs here, which has been consumed back here, right, through the stack dot outputs dot this, right? And also I showed you how to get the map value, find in map, so that you don't have to hard code your AMIs, correct? Let's see if this has come. Yes, perfect. So let's go to EC2 dashboard. Yep, there is one came. So let's look at it. Go to the security group. Go here. So here you are seeing it's having a one inbound rule with 10.0.0, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change to two ingress rules. So for example, here. So this I'm going to upload to the S3 bucket this YAML file. This has two ingress. One is the usual one, the previous one. We have added one more setup block here, right? So how to do? You have to go back to the S3 again. Go to the CloudFormation bucket. Okay, so now you have to choose the right file. That's the only thing. Okay, so instead of nested, there is a nested updated. That's where this file. So I'm going to put the same file name, but new content. That's it. Okay, so one success. So it has been uploaded. So going back to the CloudFormation, now what we need to do is we should not do this. See, it has created two stack. One is your stack, another is the SSH. It's called nested. You never go and do modify with the nested, never go and do delete with the nested. You always do with the parent basically. So now we are in the parent. So I'm going to say update current stack, same VPC ID we are choosing, I'm not changing anything else. You could change it if you want. My intention is to update so that intrinsically it will get the new security group. So it is, since we updated the S3 bucket with the modified things, this automatically updates the security group. So that is what hopefully we are going to see pretty soon. This is very powerful for the governance perspective. You have CloudFormation and you have different AWS accounts, you have different regions, how to control in a governed way the security firewall rules or network rules properly, right? This is very powerful. So CloudFormation is the power of CloudFormation comes with all these complex scenarios. If it is simple enough, then Terraform and CloudFormation, I don't see much of a difference, frankly. But whenever you have multi-region, multi-account, and still you want to have a governed way of doing it, and still you want to have a very good CI/CD integration, it's because since it's AWS tools, they are given a very good integration across all the way to integrate CloudFormations into a CI/CD way, so that you could create your machines as well as you could update the applications along with it. Okay, so now we got this. So if you go here, hopefully we should see now 2 now. Blah. Very good, right? So we got what we want. Perfect. So now let's do one more thing. I want to delete now. See, Cloudway, right? Whatever you do, delete. But you should not go and delete the next. You could, but it's not recommended practice. So it's better to do the root. Say delete. Say delete stack. When you say delete stack, what's going to happen is it's going to delete both the root stack as well as the other stack. But the S3 file is still going to be remained, so that later you could try to recreate it if possible, right? So that is the power of the CloudFormation. So I just want to give you guys a summary. In summary, what we did was, it is all template driven, correct? And you could define the parameters. So we use the VPC ID as the parameter in the last demo, right? So that is the parameter. Users could choose it. And resources, we created a security group, we created EC2. So those are the resources, and there are 224 resources currently. Similar way, there's a documentation given. Mappings, this also we saw. So instead of hard coding the AMI, we used this mapping way, and using the get find in map, we try to get the AMI in the last demo. Conditions we didn't use, but you could say if it is dev, then create this. If it is prod, you could create this. So that is the kind of a thing. Outputs we have seen. We have seen the whole example of outputs. It is not cross-region. That is one of the problem, right? And but reusability between dependent and independent we saw, and we saw a demo of this. Then we saw nested stack where it works across region, across accounts as well. So that is the whole complete the power of CloudFormation I want to cover. Thanks for listening.